News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Denise Pellegrini. Major rebound for U.S. stocks yesterday in anticipation of a government shutdown in the U.S. being averted, but the Dow still posted its worst week in about 2 years as investors eyed tariff uncertainty and impact of DOGE and government cutbacks. Torsten Slok, chief economist at Apollo Global Management, says he sees new signs of weakening consumer confidence.
Number of people who are going to movie theaters, number of people going to Broadway shows. If you look at the TSA data for how many people fly in airplanes, even if you look at how many people are visiting the Statue of Liberty here in New York City, all that has actually started to weaken.
University of Michigan data out yesterday shows substantial weakening in consumer sentiment, and recent reports also show consumers are spending less on snacks. Shoppers in Los Angeles say they're doing more meal planning and buying fewer snacks.
I feel like you have a budget every week, and I feel like every week it just gets harder and harder to stay within that budget.
You know, it's always a dent on the credit card when it's time to go food shopping. And we're actually for the first time doing meal planning.
All this puts the coming Fed meeting in extra sharp focus. Fed wraps up its two-day meeting March 19. We'll have live special coverage on Bloomberg Radio and television, and of course in-depth analysis on Bloomberg News Now. The Senate passing that 6-month spending bill yesterday, avoiding a government shutdown just hours before it was supposed to take effect. Republicans overcame sharp Democratic opposition to the measure, sending it to President Trump to be signed into law. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer and a handful of other Democrats helping the Republican majority overcome a procedural obstacle. President Trump praising Schumer.
I was told that was what was going to happen. Very good. And I appreciate Senator Schumer, and I think he did the right thing. Really, I'm very impressed by that.
Schumer's decision, though, to support Republicans and the effort to avoid a shutdown provoking furious criticism from some Democrats. U.S.-Canada tension in focus. New Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney ordering a review of the country's contract with Lockheed Martin for F-35 fighter jets. Carney, though, also telling reporters there has been progress in discussions.
President Trump has put some very important issues at the top of his agenda. We understand his agenda. We understand the importance of addressing the scourge of fentanyl, which is a challenge here in Canada as well as the United States.
Weeks of hostilities have resulted in the U.S. and Canada placing tariffs on tens of billions of dollars of the other's exports.
3, 2, 1. Ignition and lift.
SpaceX launching a crew to the International Space Station to allow marooned astronauts Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams to finally return home. The mission crew includes 2 NASA astronauts, a Japanese astronaut, and a Russian cosmonaut. At the International Space Station, NASA's Ken Bowersox after the launch.
Every crew that launches is one more set of stories, one more step to humanity moving to the moon and out onto Mars.
NASA's Ken Bowersox, Wilmore and Williams, who arrived at the ISS last year, will return home no earlier than March 19 after the Crew 10 astronauts complete their handover period. Arizona Senator Mark Kelly ditching his black Tesla Model S. That's after publicly feuding with Elon Musk, the world's richest person. More from Bloomberg's Charlie Pellett.
Kelly is a former space shuttle commander who used to work with Musk's SpaceX. In a video posted on X, Musk's social media platform, Kelly said, quote, "I'm here in Washington driving to work for the last time in my Tesla." In an interview with Bloomberg News, Kelly called Tesla a rolling billboard for Musk's work for the president. Kelly says he has bought a white Chevy Tahoe as a replacement. In New York, Charlie Pellett, Bloomberg Radio.
Thank you, Charlie. We're hearing Apple's top executive overseeing its Siri virtual assistant has told staff delays to key features have been ugly and embarrassing, and a decision to publicly promote the technology before it was ready made matters worse. Sources say that's the word from Robbie Walker, who serves as a senior director at Apple and spoke during an all-hands meeting for the Siri division, saying the team was facing a bad period. Walker also said it's unclear when the enhancements will actually launch. Russia and Ukraine trading heavy aerial blows overnight, with both sides reporting more than 100 enemy drones over their respective territories. And the attack comes less than 24 hours after Russian President Vladimir Putin met with U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff to discuss details of the U.S. proposal for a 30-day ceasefire in the war with Ukraine. Hamas says it will only release an American American, Israeli, and the bodies of 4 other hostages if Israel implements the existing ceasefire agreement in the Gaza Strip. And round 3 of the Players' Championship underway at TPC Sawgrass. At last check, Min Woo Lee and Akshay Bhatia at the top of the leaderboard, followed by JJ Spawn, and then Rory McIlroy and Colin Morikawa tied for 3rd. And that's news when you want it. With Bloomberg News Now, I'm Denise Pellegrini. This is Bloomberg.